We added like an extra one, but then right here we added.
That's not three.
Welcome to ITEC.
ICAM's
Technical
Exploration
Club.
I'm Tegan.
I'm Christian.
I'm Maggie.
And I'm James.
During ITEC, we're going to be designing machines and then actually bringing them to life.
Join us as we travel down the world of technology.
In today's show, we'll be learning how to set up our Raspberry Pi kit.
Dun, dun.
We also have a touchscreen monitor with a stand included with it. Okay, to begin, we're going to be opening the Raspberry Pi kit. To start, we have the actual Raspberry Pi itself. And here we have the case for it.
Yeah, the case.
Which is red.
Here's just the plain old power cord.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
We have the HDMI cable, so you can plug the Raspberry Pi into the
Computer?
this monitor that we will be unboxing in a little bit. Now we have the Raspberry Pi operating system, which is on an SD card, pre-installed, which is great. Finally, we have the wireless keyboard that comes inside the box. Now we should be unboxing the next box, which is the touchscreen monitor. First, we have
The stand.
the stand. Oh, wait, you gotta.
Oh, it goes that way. Here we have the touchpad
that's cool.
monitor.
Oh,
Green.
the bubble wrap, guys! Have fun with that.
We can stand it up and link it to our Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. All the buttons. Oh. Oh.
Does anybody know how you set it on?
Oh, just turn it on.
Jeez, don't drop it. That would be
All right, let's not.
It's all your fault.
Here we go.
On the side.
So let's slide this back into the orange
Oh, you
thing.
can adjust it. It's all fancy.
Wow.
Oh, you guys got it.
Congratulations, you got it on.
Yeah, I can't figure
I'm
out.
afraid we weren't quite so successful.
Oh, it has speakers in the back too, guys.
Wow,
Oh, that is
fancy.
extremely fancy.
And that's probably what we'll be using
That's
to get to know it.
pretty much it.
We'll be right back when we put things together and play with all this bubble wrap so
No.
you can see it in finished sentence.
We're going to be doing some hard work.
Yes.
Totally.
You should totally, feel totally, indebted and owed to us because we're going to do all this for you so you don't have to go through the time and do all this stuff. And you can see the finished project. We'll be right back. Hello everyone, welcome back. We finally put our stuff together and have our programming set up and our computer set up and wait. Who are you?
I'm CJ. Christian's not here today.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to work with that, I guess. Anyway, we're gonna go back into our programming setup here. We read a little bit about it and now feel kind of ready to talk to you guys about it. Who's going to be talking about that?
Oh, Maggie, thanks for volunteering.
No, I don't want to. You talk about it.
I thought you already volunteered for it.
Oh. Okay, fine, whatever. We'll talk about it. Here we have our home setup. We have a touchscreen monitor here that doesn't actually work while the keyboard is attached to it.
The touchscreen
So,
part.
yeah, the touchscreen part. I mean, everything else works, let's hope. And then here's the actual computer brains here, the Raspberry Pi, which they are absolutely obsessed with their logo here. And we have the whole setup here. We have a 4 USB port here that the keyboard is plugged into. We have this connecting to the monitor. We have the charger here and free Wi-Fi and everything like that. And then here is the cool part, because this is what's happening in here and it's displaying up here. We have our menu. Do we want to click onto this? Yes.
And on the menu we have things like programming, office, internet, games. Yay.
Yes, we're going to be using that a lot, huh? We have plenty
It'll
of
be
games.
part of our research and getting to know this, you know.
Yeah.
Accessories,
Yes.
help, preferences, run, and shut down.
Mhm.
But what we're going to be using is programming.
You want to click up on that? We're going to be using our Python 3, and this is like the main setup. So we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff on here. We can use it as a calculator. We can just ask it to do stuff. We can repeat.
Have it say hello.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lots
It's
of
probably a better working system than your brain, huh, Tegan?
Excuse me.
But let's go to the one that we already kind of practiced with.
And in this one, you can save your things, whereas if you X out of just the Python 3, then it won't save it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only line by line, so.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We got a lot of stuff here. It's like a whole nother language. I can first speak English, then my second language is coding.
Computer.
Yes, it's pretty complicated. However, no, English is pretty complicated as well. So,
For you.
for me, jeez.
And so to run it, you just press run, and then run module. And over here, it'll show up, and there we go. We've got the 10 random numbers. And then you can change up, like you could do 1 through 7. However you want
Or
to.
1 through 99, it's your choice. And that's the thing, you can make it a random number, or you can have it run through those whole numbers, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
can say random number between 1 and 6, and I could do 3, or I can do run here to here, and I can do 1 through 5, and it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as we get more into it, we can probably get it to repeat the code that we just said instead of having to copy and paste it over and over and over and over again. And replaying it, we can just have it repeat however many times.
And to do this whole random thing, we're using the an import library.
Hmm. Yeah, and the library has its own other system as well. So it's going to be fun to play around with.
So before we finish up this episode, we're going to be taking a better look at some of this code. And we have the Raspberry Pi hooked up to a bigger monitor. We're going to be taking a look at some of these Python games that they have set up, and then we're going to be looking at the code that actually makes up the games. All right, so which game would you like to try out?
I'll do the worm one. Can we change the colors?
Sure. So we go to programming, and we'll be using Python 3. And we'll go to open a program, except instead of choosing one of our programs, we will go to the Python games folder and choose the Wormy program. So opening it up, this is basically what the Wormy is, this code right here. So I'll just scroll down to show how much it actually is. And up here is actually where they control the colors. I'll change some of the colors around just a little bit to make the worm be, instead of white, it'll now be green with a brighter green. I'll make the game a little bit faster. You can see that the opening screen is now running a little bit faster, and then pressing the arrow keys, the worm is now running faster, and it is 100% green. Is there anything else you'd like to change about it?
Can we change the color of the dot?
Alright, so right here is where it defines the apple, and it says it is red. So what color would you like to make it? Just
Green?
So, oops. Alright, so it didn't actually work correctly. That's because right here, there are 2 parentheses right here, as you can see, and then there's no, I meant comma, and then there's no comma right there. So what happened is I accidentally modified the original code, and to avoid this, what we could have done is simply save it under a second name. So we're going to attempt to fix the problem and get the Wormy program back to the way it originally was. So I'll just open up Python games and go to Wormy, and then any further changes that we make, we will save it under a separate name, and so then it will be another program. This might be a little bit smaller than it was before, but that's not a big deal. That's not a huge change to the program. It's, for the most part, back to the way it was originally.
I'll do the squirrel game.
The point of this game is to try to get the smaller squirrels. Whenever you get a smaller squirrel, you will grow bigger, which then allows you to get bigger and bigger squirrels. And every time you touch a bigger squirrel, you lose a life, which is represented in the top left corner. So there's a lot of interesting things that can be changed. This program is a lot more complicated than the Worm program. It has a lot more in it. Just to name a few of the things that this program does, aside from playing the game, it has to calculate when to add new squirrels into the game, when to add new background grass into the game, and just a lot of different things. It needs to calculate what happens when you touch one of the other squirrels and stuff like that. And there are some more advanced graphics. So the way that graphics is working is each one of those is an image that the program is then downloading to use in the game. So then we could change something right here. If I just turn this R into an L, then up here change this L into an R, this should make the squirrels go backwards. So I'll make this be squirrel 2 to make this not be the exact same problem we had before. So what you're gonna want to do is see what colors are available. For a second, and the colors that they're defining right now are white, red, and grass color. The reason they have so few colors is because the squirrels and the grass are represented by images, so they're not actually being drawn in the game, in this program itself, because they are already pre-made. So that if I made this be all zeros, this should make the background now be black, I think. And it's kind of a cool contrast with the squirrels to the. One more thing that I'd like to change quickly. General size, I'm going to change this to a twice as big, to a 50. So now the squirrels will be bigger now. Okay, now you can put it, that's larger size. And if you notice, you'll be running into some bigger squirrels. Yeah, so we did some really cool stuff, switching around our program and learning that we actually need to save it under a different name. So we did learn a lot about this program, but next week we will be continuing on and learning about how to connect it to motors so we can build even bigger projects.
All right, guys, that about wraps it up for today's video. In the future, we might be doing stuff like maybe turning on a few lights and stuff like that. It's gonna be really fun. So hopefully we'll see you then, and farewell.